right, good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday, March 10th. It's about 6:30, and we're going to continue our budget work sessions. Tonight, we are starting with our Public Works and Water Pollution Control Department. Who got the short straw and gets to sit in the front here?
Well, actually,
Or is this one that they don't have to? The check must have cleared, huh? Yeah.
If I may, yeah, we're going to start with roadways, and I'd like to introduce the new superintendent, Gabe
Yes.
Halandra. If Gabe, want to come up to the front here? And
So apparently it was you that pulled the short straw.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you all.
Nice meeting you. Thank you for
or wherever you can, as long as you hit one of the mics, that we can.
big button on the bottom there. Yep.
All right.
The budget book in the front is open to, you might already have it printed out, but that's open to what the council has in front of them as well.
Okay, well, we'll follow along there.
Yeah, so we'll open with 305, Mr. Chairman, but also, while we have Gabe here, after 305, if we skip to 320 and 323, then that'll cover everything for the superintendent.
Good. Yeah, then we'll let him get out of here if he wants. Sounds good. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here. Kind of hit the ground running, I guess.
Absolutely.
But I don't know if is there anything within this Department 305 budget we need to know before we ask any questions or make any comments from anyone?
No, I mean, in general, small increases, most of it, like the salaries were contractual, as well as we're in the midst of hiring another maintainer driver, another position we need filled. But that's pretty much it. Let's see, what do we have here? Second line, part-time, that was due to a combination, combining two accounts, which you saw there.
All right. Yeah, that was one of my questions. What was the reduction due to? So thank you for that.
Yep.
All right.
And then same thing, if you run down to the operating supplies, that's another similar situation. A combination of combining two accounts, and that attributes the increase
Okay.
on that line.
Yeah, we have a lot of, they're not duplicate, but they're administratively, sometimes it's hard to, the department number and the object number, they're really the same accounts. So operating supplies and rentals, it's really the same thing.
Okay.
So we're trying to make it easier administratively for both the department itself to track, and then for my staff internally to either do POs or cut checks or remember, fewer account numbers, if you will. Yeah. And we're looking at kind of revamping the whole public works departments at some point down the road to make a department just for supplies, and so that, both roadways and buildings and grounds and, can use the same account numbers and all that.
Okay.
That's down the road right now. We're just trying to combine them and make less line items so we can have a trail to build when we start building the new department.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, I
Yes.
think, Gabe, if you may want to talk about further down in his budget, other service and charges under 435, other contractual. You have other contractual, I'm trying to find my page here, for 18,000. And I believe that's for the radios.
Yeah, we requested the 18,000 increase, and that is for revamping the radios. They're pretty much obsolete in the department. Makes it very hard to communicate. New radios will definitely make us more efficient, safety, and coming off the winter, it was tough keeping track of everybody, and so that would be a huge help to the department.
And with the new radios, like we have the infrastructure, I don't know if they need towers or repeaters or what, I don't know what the right term I'm looking for, but, is it just the new radios? We have that other infrastructure that we need?
What we're doing here is, the company that we got the bid from was Goosetown. The PD has them.
Yep.
So we figured we'd hop on with them, so just try to keep everybody the same. So if PD needs to get a hold of us, we can work with
Okay.
them. They can communicate with us. We can communicate with them need be during the wintertime. And we don't have to do the infrastructure, which
Yep.
would, I didn't really look into the numbers, but I think they're really exorbitant
Yeah.
money-wise to redo that part of the radio system.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any other comments or questions?
No?
All right.
Mr.
Anyone-
Chair,
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to fund Department 305 in the amount of $1,125,020.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? And we're going to go to 320,
713.
713. All right, so motor vehicle and equipment pool.
Costs associated, obviously, with what they do in terms of repair.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
motion to fund Department 320 in the amount of $162,490.
Motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, and we'll also look at 323, correct?
Yes, the transfer station.
Next page. And that will be, transfer station will be opening up, what, April 4th or something? Is that,
Yeah.
we're getting close.
Yeah. Is it?
The fourth.
Is it the 4th? I guess, right? Okay. Again, this is just a part-time salary increase, it looks like. Is that under part-time and then,
Yeah, and a few other contractual, small items, $700, and then, $920 in the transfer station line item.
is that, do we know, is that just additional contracts or is that an increase in what we currently have?
It's just a estimated cost increase on what we currently have.
Okay.
Nothing different. The salary is the same hours with a slight, 3% pay increase for
Yep.
part-time individuals. One new individual of the two we had previously, but same hours, same everything.
Okay. All right, any comments, any questions from anyone?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go ahead.
motion to fund Department 323 in the amount of $116,015.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I think we're done. That was quick.
We'll make it more painful this
Yeah,
time.
no, yeah. We want you to come back on Monday, so we'll make it easy. Thank you very much for your time and welcome.
Thank you.
Building and grounds next or water pollution control?
Well,
Does it matter?
they're both here, so, and Andy's here for the long haul. So
Yes.
if you want to get Joe and Josh out early.
I think Joe likes it here, though.
Yeah,
Joe does like it here. Yeah.
yeah, but he doesn't have any gifts tonight. We got gifts last
I
time you
know.
showed up. All right, so water pollution control is under section 12, page 12. All right, you're on.
So we have level funded everything that we can level fund as far as the operation and maintenance, with the exception of one line item, which is going to be 52,435. It's under other services and charges. I have a 5% increase in that to cover increased sludge hauling and sludge transport
Okay.
and treatment at Mattabassett. So those rates are going up. Unfortunately, looking at the budget, it is lower than last year, as you will see because of capital going down. Is that making sense to you?
Yeah.
So the budget's down
121.
We're down 121,000 in
Yeah.
total.
Yeah, that's what ours,
I was looking for the percentage.
Yeah,
Thank you.
at 2.37% in total. The operational costs, which, are just that operational, are up 80 grand or 3.14%. And obviously, the majority of that, again, is salaries. But we also have an estimated, because of the projects we're doing, Shuttle Meadow primarily, we have an estimated Clean Water Fund payment, principal and interest next year in this budget as well. We are anticipating that to close at some point during '27.
Hopefully. Later part.
Yeah.
So, we budgeted something just in case. And that would be a 2% loan over 20 years.
All right, any comments, any questions?
No.
The only thing I would mention is in this budget, when you approve this budget, the capital is in there. Do you want to go over the capital?
Probably, yes. It
Yeah.
probably makes sense to,
That way it's just
Yes.
one vote.
Breakdown on that?
Capital for WPC can be found on page 14-5.
all right.
It's at the bottom, very bottom part of the page there. Starting at line 126.
Okay.
126, you said?
Yep.
Okay, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want to run through them
So,
at all?
Yeah, I'll run through them. So there's a $225,000 appropriation for equipment repair and collection system maintenance. We do this every year in case something unforeseen should happen, broken pipes, motors and stuff going down to the treatment plant. Because we have to maintain the process for public health. We have I&I manhole repairs. We're going to try to do more this year. This is actually more than I normally ask for.
Yeah.
But as part of that facilities plan that we did, we were able to identify about 70 or 80 that we would like to get done now.
Okay.
And that'll cut down on the I&I. So now that we've identified them, I'm going to appropriate the money so we can get out there and get them done.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be money well spent.
And will that, I know we just spent, last week or whenever you were here last talking about, putting tanks or, holding tanks. I can't remember exactly what phrase they use, but.
They use the term cistern, I think.
Okay. But we can still address some of these I&I issues, and that's what you're representing here is trying, there are some, low-hanging fruit, so to speak.
There is.
that
This is the lowest hanging fruit.
Okay.
We have some other areas that I'll be talking to Mike and Rob about that we'd like to bring forward to the council to
Okay.
consider. And that was specifically that Journey Road project in the area down by the tracks
Okay.
where the flea market is.
yep.
Those are the areas that we had talked about.
Okay.
There's also $34,000 for a camera, I think you have on there. And then there's $50,000 for a pickup truck. We have a pickup truck with a frame that's not repairable, so it's not safe to drive. So it'll be something that I'll try to trade in and not give to another department, because I don't think anybody should be driving it and let a dealer deal with it. That makes sense to everyone.
Yep.
It's 40 on the camera. 40 on the camera,
Yeah,
50 on the truck.
40 on the camera.
Oh, okay.
Total of 395.
All right. Anyone with any questions regarding any of the capital items?
No, they all make sense.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just to be,
Yeah.
what we're really looking at is under the town manager proposed column.
Yes. Make sure
Yeah.
you're looking under the town manager proposed column. I mean, you could look at the others, but
Yeah.
yes.
The one with the largest numbers.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I want you to
No, well,
approve.
actually, just, yeah, there was just like, there's actually only one, not much of a difference.
Yeah, we finished up a lot of capital programs last year, projects, and that was really good.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Is the camera just for security? Is that what it is?
No, this is actually a camera that we use in the sewer pipes to inspect the interior of the pipes. We have a vehicle that we purchased not too long ago, which handles bigger pipes. So this is going to be for smaller diameter pipes that we need to look into. And the beauty of this camera is that the camera itself will be interchangeable with the truck that we bought. So we're buying the same brand, the same camera. So if once you go down, we can switch back and forth. That gives us some redundancy, and that's really important for us because when you need the camera, you need the camera.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, let me get back to. So on the revenue side, do we need to approve we really don't have to approve a revenue side, correct? Let me phrase it that way. We're just looking at the expenditure side on page 13 of section 12.
Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to fund Department 340 in the amount of, where are we? $5,006,132.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And the capital, that's already in here.
It's part of
That's already part of this operating budget number you
Okay.
just approved.
All right. All right.
All right,
That's it.
Thank you.
spring,
Thank you.
summer,
Yeah. Yeah.
what do you think?
Let's go summer.
Remember, everyone's welcome for a tour.
Did how much flow increase did we see over the last couple days because of the snow melt? You don't
Actually,
have to give me a number because I might not want to know that, but
less than we have in past years.
really,
That,
oh, interesting.
a lot has to do with how dry the ground is and how fast we had a few different melts, so
Yes,
it was able
yeah.
to absorb
We're
it
at
as
night,
it went
it-
along. But we did exceed the permit,
Okay.
as we always do. So
No, just checking.
we'll fix that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, and I guess that leaves for this section, the Buildings and Grounds Department. That's Department 310. That's on section 7, page 7.
Yes, so under the Buildings and Grounds Department, I'll take care of reporting on the budget. It is mostly driven by personnel, contractual increases there at the top. But you'll also notice under the supplies section, there are increases for operating supplies, repair and maintenance, and auto supplies and parts. The budget here has been pretty much held steady over the last many years. And we're getting to a point now where we're trying to enhance our preventative maintenance schedule for both buildings and parks and equipment. And to do that, we obviously need the right equipment, the tools to do that. So, we've been replacing backflow preventers. That's an item that the council's approved in the past for capital. It's again in capital this year. These types of improvements go a long way to keep our buildings, safe and functional. So that's really the justification for those increases there. Overall, though, the department has an increase of $68,000 at 5.2%.
All right, any questions, any comments? All right,
Mr. Chair?
yes.
Make a motion to fund Department 310 in the amount of $1,378,600.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. That completes this section.
No.
Almost.
Budget 315.
315.
Municipal
That's
building
right.
maintenance.
I checked off the wrong thing. Thank you. So we're just turning the page to municipal building maintenance.
Yeah, 315 is kind of morphed into my area.
You sound so happy about it.
Well, yeah, yes and no, because it's utilities and utilities are up and
Yeah.
it's something that, we cannot control. Electricity is the biggest driver. You've seen that with Eversource and your home bills, I'm sure. Water, I did not budget the full increase on water because, maybe we, get lucky and not hit it. From what they're saying, we should spend in the course of 12 months.
Okay,
They give us a calendar year number. Obviously, we're on a fiscal year, but, so I'm hoping that, we come in a little bit, I have to raise it something because the rates are just going up. We did save, like I mentioned last night, on heating, oil, gas and diesel, we did lock in, so that's a good thing at this point. Same number of gallons, I think I might have increased, gas, some gallons in gas, but we're still down overall with that. The other contractual is the custodial contract, that we took on, where we added, rather, the senior center. So we added it for this year. It's budgeted in the senior center this year. We felt it's more appropriate to budget it here with the other contracts we have for custodial services.
Okay.
So while there is an increase here in this line item, you'll see a decrease in the senior center 420
Okay.
of a number closer. Actually, it exceeds this because of the change in dollars for what we're doing there. So again, an increase here, but offset by a decrease in another budget. So, overall, it's up 6.98% or $111,000, but it's kind of out of my hands.
All right. And just, as far as electricity rates, like at our homes, we can pick our supplier and try to save. Is there any, as a municipality, is there anything like that that's offered or anything you guys?
Yeah, we do.
And
We're
you already take
currently
money?
using, Constellation is the biggest one, and we lock in for multiple years on
Yep.
that as well, like we do, So we have our electrical consultant who is extremely good, and believe me, trying to lock in for electricity is, for your home individual use, it's great. It's simple, you can go online and do it, pick,
Yes,
boom,
yeah.
good. With this, because we're a municipality, it is like Greek to me, and, we trust our consultant, a lot. He's really, really good, and he talks, and we just kind of go, okay.
Yeah.
And he always comes up with a great rate. So when Constellation's contract is up, he tells us a year in advance. We go out and look then, because you can buy electricity way in advance. So I think we're locked in right now. What is it, 26 right now? We're locked in, I think, till 29, maybe. And I'm sure he'll be calling us, sometime after the first of the year in 27 to start looking again. It's just, we got a decent rate, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And we lock in as soon as we can, just like gas and diesel on an annual basis.
Yeah.
These we can lock in for multiple years.
Because it seems like towards the end of 25, you used to be able to get some pretty good deals on residential supply, and it seemed like those kind of went away, where Eversource was almost for a while the cheapest out there, which
Yeah, I went
seemed
back.
odd.
I went back to Eversource actually, and
Yeah.
I'll look again to go somewhere else.
Yeah, we at our household, we just actually, we were with Eversource and we just found something. It's only 4 months, but that's the other thing. The length seems to be
Yeah.
a lot shorter, but the delivery, I know delivery has gone up, and that side we're kind of stuck with, but okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Is there any thought to, when we redo a roof, putting solar panels? Getting an offset? Like the library?
Yeah, and
coming up?
that's the other thing. Our solar farm that we have in Franklin, Franklin. That's the oldest field that the oldest contract we have with regards to solar. So those panels are beginning to not produce as much or give us back as many credits as they have in the past. It is something, again, that I think we need to look at going forward, whether to try to get out of that contract, which would, raise our costs on another side, but, or move to another farm or whatever. Again, it's something that I believe, our consultants with the landfill, I think they can look into that, as well as we have asked our electricity consultant too to look into it. And again, that contract I was not involved in back in the day. That was all previous town manager. I don't really know much about it, other than we're not getting the credits we used to, I know. Again, it's just degrading equipment, I believe.
Where's the solar farm?
It's in Wyndham, Franklin area off of 32.
Right
I
off
think.
of 32, right by the.
I didn't-
The old mushroom factory.
This is all news to me. I didn't know we got credits for it.
Yep.
Yeah, we for the town side, we have we credit, we had our biggest users, if you will. So it's the library, WPC, fire station, and I believe town hall.
Okay.
The 4 town buildings, and we have I think it's Wheeler and Linden maybe on another one. And then we have another specific one just for the sewer plant.
Are we able to put up solar panels like on the library and do the reverse meters?
That's an Andy question.
We certainly can explore it, especially as we're looking at a new roof. We have a decent consultant team that we've used to assist us through that
Right.
process, so it's certainly something we can explore.
Yeah, I mean, on the residential side, I paid $54 this month, including, I paid $54 total for electricity this month. I don't know if, I'm sure it's different on the municipality side, or,
Yeah, definitely outside of my expertise, which
Yeah.
is why it's good that we have the consultants, but definitely something we could look into to see
Yeah.
if it's worth investing in.
yeah. Especially if we're redoing a roof.
Yeah, right, but I think some of the issues for the library are limiting.
Yeah.
In the sense that half of it is a flat roof, and that's where the mechanicals are.
Yep.
And the front-facing Main Street slope that's where it'll be, that's where you'll see it. You can't hide them on the backside.
Right.
And I think with the structure there, it's probably limited to the amount of panels you can get, but we'll certainly
Yes.
happy to
Yeah,
check it out. I just want to.
Anything to save a
It's
few
not an easy
dollars,
slam
yeah.
dunk, that it's a
Yeah.
difficult roof to try to,
I was just using that as an example, because that's the next roof we're doing. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep, good point.
Question?
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Rob, on the telephone, that's kind of an interesting history there with the numbers.
Yeah. So the telephone, we're still part of the legacy phone system we have here in Town Hall. Trying to get out of it. It's part of the issue is that system also controls the police department, which needs hard line hookups. So IT, together with our phone consultant company we used to have back in the day, are looking at ways to get this price down. The biggest part of this price is Frontier, and it's this system, I think it's called Centrix system we have here that's really extremely antiquated. We probably have phone lines on there we don't know we even have or use any longer, because we do have the voice over IP with all the town phones. So that's going over the fiber. But we're still paying for some of these lines. You know, we need hard lines for, say, alarms at the pump stations, various building alarm systems. And again, it's primarily for the police department that we need the hard wiring for. But we're trying to, again, get this down as low as we can. Frontier went up, I believe it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 30% January 1st, which is why these numbers are going up. So I immediately contacted Kevin. He goes, I know, we're on it. So hopefully we'll have some sort of resolution over the course of the next 12 months. But at this time, I got to budget what we're going to spend,
Right.
just in
Thank you.
case.
All right, any other questions, comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Motion to fund Department 315 in the amount of $1,708,000.
Motion and a second. Any last comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. I think now we have completed that section. Thank you. And we're kind of on time. Everybody pat yourselves on the back. That's good. All right, so next on our agenda, we get to talk to our director of the senior center, and I believe is that the assistant back there. I'm sorry, I can't see with the podium there, but welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
In our book, the senior center is in section 8, page 17.
I'll give this to you.
All right. So if you want to take a few minutes,
Sure.
give us anything you want to share,
Sure. Thank you.
Explain to us,
Thank
go
you
ahead.
for having us. Steph and I are excited to be here for our first budget. So we just want to start with our proposed budget for fiscal year '27 is flat, but it remains maintaining our core services and programs and everything that we do for our seniors for the center. This year, what we did with 2 full-time positions is we restructured it. So we used to have an assistant director, a director, and a social worker. Stephanie has merged her position where it is now assistant director and social worker, and we broke out the programming aspect of it. So we hired a programming manager who is just strictly doing all the programming, and I think that's a valuable asset to the senior center because she just dives right in and does it all start to finish. So that's been a wonderful transition. Our cafe opened successfully this past October. We had a grand reopening, and it's growing every day. We had a great day today. Our quiche sold out. But we're also offering different exciting menus and special events, like we did a baked potato bar. We're doing a St. Patrick's Day celebration with music. Ginny is actually playing for us. So we're expanding that and doing some fun things to bring the cafe to life. Because it's when we opened it, I was like, wow, it's only 2 days a week that we're there, 2 hours. So we spent all that time and money renovating it. We wanted to do more usage with that. We also introduced a new membership form this year, which also has a participation waiver on it. So for years, we haven't updated members' contact information or even members. Some have passed away, moved, and all that. So with that, we're able to bring up to date what our actual membership looks like, how many we have and how many are participating and all that. Our newsletter also got a nice overhaul. We used to print it in-house on duplicators, and now it's being professionally done. That is funded by all advertising, and it's color and it's exciting. It's so much easier to read. Members are loving it. They can actually find programs now. Before, did you read our newsletter? No, it's too hard to read. So it's nice to have that. New and exciting. We also are in the midst of a community survey that is out. We opened it on the 20th of February, and it'll go till March 20th. We have it here downstairs in the municipal center. We also have it at the library. We ran a table at Nazo's. We went to housing. The food pantry, it's at OLM. So we're trying to get the entire community to look at it and take part in it to see what we can do to improve and enhance the senior center. And I think that's it. Things are exciting. Participation is high, and we're having fun.
Good. Any comments, any questions from anyone?
No.
Okay. Anyone care to make a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
motion to fund Department 420 in the amount of $360,404.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We also have Department 425, which is the Transportation Fund. That's in Section 12, page 23. Anything you think we should know before looking at this?
Well, I mean, transportation, continues to be a very valuable asset at the senior center. We actually had a member the other day who comes 3 days a week to the Peak Center who looked at Ed and I, Ed is the transportation
Yeah.
coordinator, and said, this service has saved my life because he's lost his vision and he can't get out. So we pick him up at least 3 days a week so he can come exercise and stuff. So, we continue to do all the fundraising. Last year we raised $8,457. We're exploring new ways to continue to build up on the fundraising because we know how valuable that service is for our members. We did get a new van last year, a 5-passenger van. So we have 3 buses and 1 van in our fleet now, which sometimes all 4 of them are on the road with trips and daily transportation. Dispatching has been in-house for a year now, and with that, our transportation rides have been up, just our daily rides, 24%. So it's wonderful to have it all in-house. Ed does a great job arranging, and figuring out how to get everyone in, and he'll even jump in the van and take care of it if someone needs to get somewhere. So it's definitely growing, and it is a very valuable asset.
Mr. Chair?
Yes,
I usually I reported on it quite a number of times.
yeah. Okay.
The increase of it. And it's interesting that the in-house dispatching has really had an
Huge.
impact on the usage.
It is, yeah, because, when HRA had it, it was tough, because someone would call and say, oh, I'd like to go so-and-so, even if it was like to Nazos or something, like, nope, we have stuff scheduled, can't do it. Whereas Ed will, he may pick someone up earlier, or like I said, he'll go himself,
You
he'll
can find those
rearrange.
5 or 10
he'll-
minutes that you
Cor-
need to.
Correct, he will figure it out. And we do have a great complement of drivers right now, so that we have some swing shift ones. So if there's a busy part of the day, normally in the middle of the day, he'll call that person in or schedule it so that we can address all the rights we need to.
All right, any other comments, any other questions? All right, trying to find the number we need to act
Got it.
on.
Yeah,
425.
There we go.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go
make
ahead.
a motion to fund Department 425 in the amount of $96,270.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you very much.
Excellent, thank you, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, have a good night.
Yeah.
All right, now we have the fire chief. You're not scheduled for 7:15, but do you want to get going? No, that's fine.
Okay. 6:50.
All right, so section 6, page 15, we're headed to. All righty. So good evening, chief.
How are you?
Good. We'll let you give us any information you think we need to know to start.
Obviously, we're still going through the healing process, which will probably go on forever. I know it hits home, but I appreciate everyone's here, your support through this past 6-7 months. It's tremendous. Fire-wise, we are up to, I'm gonna call it 857 calls. And that's just in 9 square miles, one station. Maybe 40 guys. So that's rough. Every year I've taken over, it's gone up every year. I think it's gone up in the past chiefs too. Other towns don't know how we do it, but we seem to pull together and do it. I'm not gonna lie to you, manpower is coming along, but it's hard. You
Yeah.
know, people don't have the time to put into this. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of schooling to get going. We made the new rules and bylaws and everything, and incentive program, which is great. The retention
Yep.
is getting better.
Yep.
So we're moving along. We if we get 5 people, we'll probably keep 3 of them or stay. A lot of
Yep.
them say, "Well, I didn't know I had to get up in the middle of the night."
Yeah, no, yeah.
And then you get the younger kids that are eager and ready to go. So
Okay.
it's coming along. We're definitely moving forward, which is a good thing.
Yep.
But so is our need for services.
Yeah.
It's moving a lot forward too. You know, Farmington says you do 800 calls a year, 850, and we don't do any EMS.
Right.
They do, and they're just above us. So
That's crazy.
You know, when the bell rings, we go no matter what. So
Yep.
I assume this year will probably be a few more than last year, and we'll figure out how to work through it. But you have any questions for me?
Yeah, anyone have any questions or comments? I mean, the budget's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's pretty transparent. Nothing really changes with us. A lot of it is basic contracts and renewal of equipment. That's pretty much, that goes up. It's hard to say percentages. I know we're in the mix of getting new gear.
Yep.
Gear is, when you buy new gear, it's good for 10 years. If it sits on the shelf at the manufacturer or the sales, the clock is ticking.
Okay,
So if we get it and it's only got 5 years left,
yeah. That's what,
so I just ordered 14 sets the other day.
yeah,
In July, we'll probably order more, but we're getting to that point where we're running out of room.
Yeah.
Little play with that number of 10 years. So that's moving along. So I'm pretty happy there. You get tired of, looking at their gear and it's old and it's wrinkled and it's beat, and they got to have something to go to, the new guys got to have something to go to school with. So we'd rather give them gear that's had 5 years and buy a guy that's a regular new gear.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it gets beat up at school constantly. So that's a plus, that's a big thing. And, I got a couple of items that we're gonna purchase, more, what you would call the jaws of life. We're gonna buy 2 more cutters, which the new ones now are battery operated. So there'll be no more hydraulic lines coming off the trucks. They just don't make it anymore.
Okay.
So we're moving up. We got a handful of battery operated tools, which are great. As long as you remember to charge the batteries.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy the way it's going. It's moving forward.
And the fires, how many hours do they put in for fire school? Typically, once.
I want to say 120, 150. They start in the end of August, and it won't finish till the 1st of December. That's just fire 1. That's your
Yeah.
basic course.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much that is, here's a fire.
Yeah.
And then when you go to fire 2, here's a fire, what's it going to do? It's more, same subject, same book, each subject is more entailed on what to do.
Okay.
And we're pushing everyone to be fire 2, and that helps with our OSHA rating, and helps as an overall better fireman. So, yeah, it's quite a few hours. Most of us, like me and the guys that are my age, we all did it before we got married.
Yeah.
And it was a lot easier. I got a couple of guys, they struggle, but
Yeah.
they still seem to get up and go,
Yeah.
But,
We are excited. We have appointed several, or more than several. I think more than a half dozen or so. over
6
the
in
last-
one night.
Yeah. So,
So
if
it's
we can
coming along.
keep a few, hopefully 2/3
some
or
of
so
them
stick
coming.
around.
I've got a kid that applied, I think a couple weeks ago. And he's already fully trained. I think he came from another town, so he's already got his Fire 1, Fire 2, EMT. Bring it on.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
Saves us money,
yes.
but he knows what to do and how to do it.
Yeah.
you know.
Perfect.
Good.
What does our recruitment process look like?
What do you mean?
As far, for example, are we in contact with the high school, as far as the pipeline for hiring, the recruitment process?
Yeah, they have to be 18 years old. They'll have to go through their hiring process, which is the background check, the police check. Then they'll give that starts off with an interview. Then we send the company vote on it, let this application move forward. And then we give it off to you guys for your blessing. And it comes back to us and we send them to an orientation. And it doesn't go that fast. It takes a few, 3 or 4 months to get it, and we tell everybody, be patient. We're working on to get that changed faster. But if they like it, they're gonna stay, and they usually do.
And do you advertise to be
Yeah,
part of the
any
volunteer?
kind- yeah,
Is it
any-
word of mouth more so?
Yeah, any kind of fundraiser, or if we're called out to a school to do something, we always put the table out, put flyers out. I know Captain Miska had made some nice brochures
Yep.
with pictures of us in there. What we do, how we do it, help your community. And it works. We've had some people come since, July,
Yeah.
but I think they were just following in the means of wanting to help, and they kind of stepped back. So we'll sit and interview them, but
Well, and just, and piggybacking off what the work that was done the last couple of years,
Yeah.
we've gotten to this point. We've added some, we've added a decent number here. And
yeah.
is there a time or, I don't know, what do other volunteer fire departments or fire companies do as far as recruiting? Is there an active ad campaign, or is there,
Well,
any kind of trade magazine that, you know?
No,
it's
because
really,
it's just Plainville. You know, I'm talking to the chief in Southington and the chief in Farmington. You know, Southington is partial pay, or really half paid and half volunteers, and they're having a hard time. Farmington's having a hard time getting, so everybody around the state is having the same problem, around the whole country. But we try to, like the Bloom Fest, we'll put something out there. We're looking possibly to do an open house, which we'll put tables out there. We put a table out to Pasa Dinners, and we grab a few people here and there.
yep.
And if we can grab one or two and turn their ear, then that's great. So,
And one of the things we added with the new ordinance and the incentives was a referral bonus for active firefighters if they
Yeah.
referred somebody. I forget the numbers, but it was
I think it was $250
$250 to
First year.
refer them, and then after they're there for a year,
a
they get
year,
another $250.
and then they get the other $250, and they get paid, now they get paid for going to school.
Yeah.
School for the first guy.
An incentive
Fire
for going
one.
to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's every Tuesday and Thursday, and a handful of Sundays, or a handful of Saturdays.
Yeah.
Until you're done. But it's not a hard test. Like I said, you'll find class easy. If you like it, you'll find class very easy.
Yeah.
You know, there's a book you gotta go through. Some days are just studying. Some days are practicals where you're outside, you know, whether it's raining or snowing, you're out there. So, in the Fire 2 is the same way. It's just a little shorter. So we look to push them towards that. It makes our life a little easier when they come in and they know what's going on.
And I didn't mean to sidetrack. I don't know if Councilwoman Buchanan, did you get an answer to your question? I'm sorry, I cut in and kind of,
No, that was actually more
Okay.
the direction that, and I liked hearing the other information as well, it's
Yep.
helpful. But that was really what I was asking. Are they seeking us, or
Yes.
what are we doing to find
It's
them?
kind of a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know, you might show up to someone's house, and the next thing you know, neighbor 2 doors down is coming to apply. And they just want to help people, and that's what we're all about. We want to help, because when we're called out, somebody's having a bad day. You know?
Yeah.
So, the fulfillment of it, you know, I'll walk through the store or Nazo's, and people just thank you. You know, thanks for taking care of the town, and it goes a long way.
I gotta say, I spent a lot more time down there since I become the liaison, and the room has changed. It's a happier place to be,
Yeah,
and I'm amazed at how
Made a lot.
much you guys get done
yeah, we made a
with
lot of
volunteers.
changes.
Yeah.
You know, the trucks still have to be washed, the floor's gotta be clean, the kitchen's gotta be clean. Pasta supper's coming up soon.
Yep.
You know, we did the breakfast with Santa.
Yeah.
We didn't tell anybody at first, but since, you know, the town gave back to us back in July, when we had a hard time, all the breakfasts were free. And the people were just amazed. Well, they were given donations. It was like they paid.
yeah.
We say, you don't have to pay, this is our give back to the town for really putting us number one for a while.
Yeah.
So, you know, small stuff like that, to try to get this community, you know, kind of where it was, but times change, we understand that, and people's commitment changes. Jobs, a lot of people work in town, used to work in town, don't now. But we rely on our mutual aid from Southington, Farmington and Bristol is a great, we train together sometimes, so we're all in the same. So now, if these guys go to Fire 1, we can go to Farmington if I fire with them, because they're gonna do it the same way, and same way with Southington. Everything is done the same way. You know, you put up a ladder the same way, you squirt the hose the same way. So we rely on one another more now than ever. You know, so if we're short on manpower, we're gonna pull the plug and get other towns in to help us out. So we learned a lot in the past year.
All right, any other comments, any other questions?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
make a motion to fund Department 210 in the amount of $501,650.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, do you have some capital items? I
Just
forgot what page that was on. Assistant Town Manager, do you remember off the top of your head?
Yeah, 14.3.
14th, let's just turn to that. Let's see. Yeah. Glad the font's not very small.
Yeah, exactly.
Another list.
Yeah,
Page,
there is.
I think it's page 17.
Yes.
Or, line 17. It starts.
Yeah, the replacement gear is the big thing. I don't know if this is the right place to talk about it, about the, getting new apparatus. Years ago, we were on a program that put away, I'm gonna just shoot you a number, 250,000 a year.
Yep.
And in 5 years, you'll have enough to buy a truck. Well, that was taken away, like, council's a year back, just got rid of it. And a few years ago, they're saying, you need a truck now? Yeah, the truck doesn't wait. We've got a 1999 pumper, we have a 2004 pumper. They're kind of twins, well out of their realm. They need to be replaced, and we've been talking with it, with the managers and,
Yep.
and Ben
Yes.
and yourself.
Yes, yeah.
I think we got a good lease on this one. Right now, if you buy a fire truck, it's gonna go for 1.3 mil, and you're not getting it for 4 years. No matter what truck it is. It's unheard of. The government is looking into this, why it's taken so long.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we use KME,
Yep.
which is part of the Bulldog. They have a truck for us. They make 5 or 6 of these trucks, pretty plain Jane. We can add a handful of our stuff to them. We can be out the door for $780, $780,000, and I can have it in July. So, you know, we don't need the big extravagant stuff anymore. Of course, we'd like it, but we're not gonna wait 4 years for a truck, and that's,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of the countries having that problem. So, if we need 2, so if we buy 2, which however they find the money for it, and I asked him, if we only can afford one now, he goes, I can't give you the discount now, but if you buy another one within a year, I can go back and give you 16% off the whole deal, which it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what, and I guess you're referring to, like, there's floor models available.
Yeah, it's what we call in the older days a plain Jane.
Okay.
It just comes with basic stuff.
Yep.
We'll have to throw some of our stuff onto it, so that'll cut a couple bucks out of our pocket. But we're well under $1 million.
Yes, yeah.
Well under $1 million. Now, our ladder that we bought, 2020, was like 1.2.
Yeah.
It's going for 2.5 now.
Wow.
So we bought it the right time. We got lucky. We didn't know that was gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah.
They're a great company, and they're just waiting to hear back from us. And we'll take it from there, but
Yeah, because I know.
something moving forward.
Yeah, and it sounds like at least with this floor, I want to say.
Yeah, it's
floor
pretty
model,
much
but-
plain
yeah.
floor models.
You know, it's something, you know, we have had discussions, and I think as we get through the budget process, that's something that's on our radar, you know, as we get into the spring here to
Because
try,
there's-
do we want to take advantage of that,
Yes.
this opportunity?
There's a large city in Connecticut, and I don't want to give the names. They've bought 3 or 4, and they want 4 more, and they want the one we're looking at.
All right,
If it's not feasible for us right now, I understand. But it's there because they're making them down the line.
yep,
Because we've used KME, we're all KME in the firehouse. They told me we have a gold card. Doesn't come with any money,
Yeah.
but they tell me that, you know, they'll move us right up.
It's a
right up
gold
to the
plated.
top.
Okay.
They'll-
all right. Well, it's certainly that is on our radar, and
Nice.
we're, you know, as we get through the next
Yeah.
couple weeks here, I'm sure we're
It's
gonna
always
start.
nice to sit back and know you're getting a new
Yep.
truck. It's like Christmas for us.
Yep.
It doesn't happen often, but it is nice.
And needed.
So-
And needed, yeah.
And needed.
Unnecessary.
Most importantly, needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're starting to, you know, the older trucks are starting to nickel
Yeah.
and dime.
Yep.
We just replaced the transmission in 2013. They wasn't expecting that, so there goes part of that big budget for repairs.
Right.
So, but I think we're doing, overall, I think we're doing well.
Great. Any other comments, questions, anything capital related? Anyone have a question on what's listed there? I think Thursday night, is that capital night?
Yeah.
We'll be taking up capital budget in total on Thursday night, but thank you
Oh, no problem.
for coming in and,
I have applications in the car if anybody wants one.
Well, yeah.
But yeah,
well, thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
your support all year. Thank you.
Yes.
That an application for a fireman?
Yeah, you wanna try it?
Yeah, why not?
Go. We got someone. I would be such a crappy fireman. Chris would really.
You'd be like, hold on, I'm not going there.
All right, next, the chief. Chief Bengali's here. Good evening. We're gonna spend some time talking with the police chief. We're gonna go to section 6, page 6 to start. Good evening. Thank you for being here.
Good evening, thank you for having me.
How are you?
Hey, good, how are you, Ben? Good. Good.
Just, anything you want to share, anything regarding the budget? I'm sure there's going to be some things we'll want to discuss as we look into this.
I'll take my, my cues from you guys. That's fine.
Anything in the, anything in
No,
the
I think-
budget that's out of the ordinary, anything that's,
I think for me, I understand when I go into my budget requests that I don't come in with a huge wish list. There's really only certain things that are necessary. I know we're going to talk about CIP, and that'll be, Thursday, or I know we'll discuss a little bit tonight. I only had a couple of brand-new requests on the CIP. Most of those items in the capital, you could argue whether they should be capital or not, but those are recurring maintenance costs and contractual costs and things of those nature. The only two things I asked for were new firearms, which I had asked for last year, and I gave them up to get a brand-new access control system because the one we have now is running off of Windows 98, I think, or 2000.
Yeah.
And so that's just IT's working with me on that to have that overhauled. And so I know that the firearms were not given to me this year, but I knew to start early. So hoping next year, when these current firearms reach their, I think their 10-year mark is when they should be replaced. And there's a whole host of reasons of why I wanted to have them replaced to begin with. So hopefully I can get those. But I talked with the town manager, and I told him that I could go another year without having the brand-new firearms. The only other item I asked for was a brand-new patrol vehicle. I knew that I wasn't going to ask for two. I wanted to be realistic, so I only asked for one, which was denied. Again, if we want to talk about it here now, we could.
Want to do capital now?
yeah, we might as well, we're all here.
Okay.
We have you, why don't we do it tonight?
Sure.
If there's any follow-up, we certainly can let you know.
Oh, we're back there again.
We're going back to section 14, starting on page 3. See where the police section, it looks like it's right there. On page 3 in section 14,
Starts at number 11? No.
number,
Starts with number 6.
yeah, it
Six.
starts with 6. And again, we got 2 columns. We got the request from the department and then the recommended or proposed from the town manager.
Right, and what the chief is, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
the chief and I had talked about what didn't realize were there 3 items there. Item number 11, the police dispatch and record system, that is 25,000 is under a contractual maintenance item, so might be one of those, like we did a few years ago with Goosetown, that it may be more appropriate to move that into operational,
That's gonna be
along
yearly.
with item number 13, the police body cameras at 28,000. And then down on 15, the forensic software. All 3 of those are, and that is 17,000. That comes to a total of 70,000 that you'd have to move into the operating budget if you wanted to. But I think, Rob has some ideas to maybe lessen the blow, so to speak, in terms of budget numbers. But, and again, not trying to blow up the chief's budget, but, they are what he needs based on continuing the contract, right? An obligation, not as a one-off and, capital item that you purchase and you're done.
Yep.
So that was a conversation we started, haven't fully vetted it, but Rob and I had a chance to talk a little bit. And so I think there's a path forward. Just depends on how you want to skin the cat.
So these three items need to be funded this year,
Yeah, they need to be continued.
Yeah.
every year.
We have, we funded these items before in CIP, and like we did with Goose Town, it's really not a capital item. They are recurring maintenance, software contracts, no different than we have in every other department for software or, cameras or whatever. Because we have budgeted these dollars previously in CIP, we do have some residual monies left in these three line items. So as the town manager said, the proposed cost of these three items together is $70,000. With the residual monies, I can probably generate 20 out of CIP, and if we move 50 into operating, that'll, whatever bills come in when they come in, because they come in staggered over the course of the year. For example, the dispatch doesn't come in until May, so we haven't spent anything on it yet until May. We would spend the money in CIP first, then whatever remains on any bills that have to do with these three items would be taken out of the general fund if budgeted for 27. What would then happen in 28 is that these three items would open up for other, one-time or equipment-type related items. For example, perhaps the guns that the chief was talking about. So it would, if we're slowly, again, taking out the recurring maintenance-type items out of CIP to really have CIP be equipment, one-time purchases or larger ticket dollar values or something, really keeping in line with the over $5,000 and 5-year type of situation, whereas these are annual recurring maintenance costs and really should be in the operating budget.
That makes sense.
All right.
The stationary LPRs, I think we're going to be on, we have maybe 1 year left on that contract.
Okay.
And then we own those particular cameras, 6 or 7 cameras. Again, I'll be looking to, at the end of this budget cycle, if there's any money left, I'll be looking to try to get more LPRs, probably through a company called Flock. Again, that's up in the air, but I do know I want to increase our stationary license plate readers. Also, body armor is on the CIP, so I want to make sure that also doesn't get, because that's a recurring cost as well.
Yes, yeah.
It's a union contract issue, and we set aside that amount of money, believing that about 9 officers per year will need to have their body armor replaced. Body armor has to be replaced every 5 years per manufacturer and per contract. So that's about 45 people, and so that's about where we stuck. We do get a Bulletproof Vest grant, usually annually. I know Rob handles the grant with Lieutenant Canoy, which I think pays 50%.
Supposed to,
Yeah.
Supposed to?
Oh, the way it comes in is, again, staggered, and sometimes it shows more money than we have.
Yeah. So if we decide that, yes, we should move these items to the operating, I guess for the council and, we're not necessarily looking to reduce the CIP by that amount. I'm sure there's 4 pages of stuff we can do with, the money that would be left if we move these things out.
Well, they're not in the proposed CIP
Correct.
for 27. So because they are, per the chief, required or absolutely necessary, again, we feel as though they are an operating budget item. So we
we
would
have to increase the operating.
increase the police budget by 50,000.
Yep.
I'll probably have 20,000 residual to pay, again.
Through the CIP.
Out of CIP.
Yep.
Those line items theoretically will be closed going forward to say fiscal year 28. And then, again, that $70,000 could be made available, assuming level funding going forward, for other items that the chief may need somewhere down the road.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, Mr. Chair, so
Yes,
to wrap
go ahead.
up, the 2 items that would stay as CIP are the 2 that the manager proposed then,
Yes.
which are the
Okay.
LPRs, using
Yep.
the little jargon there, and the defibrillators.
Yes.
Those would remain in the capital budget, yeah.
The defibrillators are, trying to think, we could apply those towards the LoSiP grant from the state of Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
So those are, our,
That might
so
be-
we get 186,000 and change, and you'll see on there as a revenue source, we targeted 186,000. 12,000 of it was the defibrillators.
Okay.
So we did do that for 25, I'll do it again for 26, and we're proposing it for 27.
So what we're discussing then is taking this several things that appeared on page 14-3 as a CIP request and putting them into the operating budget.
Right, because it's more appropriate to be in the operating budget, yes.
Okay. Just wanted
So
to
it
kind of
was-
summarize.
Yeah.
Forensic software,
Yep,
the body cameras,
yep.
and what was the other?
The dispatch.
Oh, dispatch,
center, yeah.
records, yep. Okay.
And then going forward for 28, within the police budget, we'll budget appropriately at 100% of whatever the costs happen to be for that fiscal year 28.
And does it make sense to leave the body armor in CIP because we get a half a grant for it?
It kind of does, because that's, it's equipment and could last more than 5 years. It's, again, we could put everything in the operating budget if you want, either,
Right.
one way or another, it's got to be funded somehow. It's just a matter of which pocket you're taking the money from.
I'm just thinking it's if we need to replace 9 sets a year.
Well, I mean, it's like the fire chief said too, we have to place so much gear. It does last more than a year. Our operating budget is 1 year.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So you know what I mean? It's whether they last 5 years or, 10, as long as it's more than one, theoretically, CIP could, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Our operating budget is only an annual 1-year budget.
That makes sense. All right.
And then I had asked for one vehicle.
Yep.
Which would be a patrol vehicle. If you remember, last year, I did a real breakdown to try to put together a fleet replacement program because I didn't feel it appropriate that vehicles could be at the whim of being cut just because
Yep.
we wanted to save $60,000. Kicking that can down the road only puts the fleet at a disadvantage. I had planned on purchasing vehicles to replace the administration vehicles, the patrol sergeant's vehicles, saving the detectives for last. Unfortunately, they usually get our cast-offs. If the car can still drive, they'll get it. If we have vehicles that can't be used for first responder capabilities, then we give them back to the town now, and I think we've supplied the town with 2 or 3 vehicles at this point. Knowing that they would have less use and, of course, didn't need to be used as first responder vehicles. If I do not get at least one vehicle this year, then I would have to, of course, wait until 2028 in July. The last time I purchased a vehicle that went specifically to the frontline patrol was 2025. And the year prior, I got no vehicles. So 24, I got no vehicles. 25, 1 police patrol vehicle, 1 admin vehicle. 25, 26, which is this cycle, I got the sergeant's a vehicle to replace the one that they had, which was very old, and then, of course, another administrative vehicle. So I was looking to at least replace 1 patrol vehicle. I also like to come up with ideas of where the money can be taken from. Earlier this year, approximately the first week of August, I made a change in the fees that the police department charges for the use of the vehicles on private duty. So when an officer is out doing a private duty job, a road job where he's directing traffic for a company, we were charging $24 an hour for the car. Every single hour the officer got paid, the car was also tacked on a $24 an hour rate. That rate had not been changed in many years, and I thought it appropriate to at least go up to $30 an hour. That $6 an hour change over the 1,000 or 1,500 hours of private duty is well over $60,000, which in and of itself can pay for the patrol vehicle and the upfitting costs for it. And so that's sort of the rationale I went into by changing that. Now, I know that money goes into the police fees or police special revenue fund, but there are departments such as Southington and others where the money that they charge for private duty goes directly back in to fund police vehicles, knowing that that's always a piece of equipment, large dollar item that's on the chopping block, and they want to be able to keep their fleet rolling. So I would ask that the police vehicle be looked at, and if the money can be found to get that patrol vehicle, I would very much like to do that. Plus, when you order these vehicles, you would have already had to do it, which I did. So there's one vehicle waiting for us.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I didn't make any promises. Those vehicles, any department that orders them will just swipe them up. If we don't buy it, somebody else will, because it's a black Ford SUV, and that's what departments are buying, so.
Okay.
But I always have to set up my buyer, my dealer, ahead of time to know how many vehicles I believe I'm going to get, so that he can get his hands on them well in advance of July 1st. So that we're ready to go. So that's it for the CIP.
Okay. All right, so I guess, unless, does anyone have any specific questions or comments with anything we've said so far?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, just to confirm, the money from the fees is already counted into our revenue side of the budget,
Of the general fund, yes.
the general fund, yeah.
So I mean, that would be a decision of you, the council, to direct X number of dollars perhaps of those fees generated to, if it was for a police car purchase, to the CIP fund to purchase the vehicle. It would impact the general fund revenue. All things being equal, it would lower the revenue, which means an increase in the mill rate just by that, very small in the whole scheme of things, if it's, say, 60 grand. But at the same time, it would be a reduction in revenue.
Yeah, okay, wanted to make sure we understood that.
All right, so I don't know, so we got a couple of things we're looking at is, moving items out of the CIP into the operating budget. And obviously the request the chief has made here tonight and I think that part we'll probably deal with on Thursday. So I would say all the CIP or the capital items we discussed, plan on discussing those Thursday night to come to, resolution, what we would like to do. But as far as the operating budget and moving those items, is that something you guys want to try and do tonight? Do we want to have Rob put together the numbers for us? Although he probably can hit a button and tell us right now.
50,000 increase.
Do you want to handle the operating budget tonight and then the capital on Thursday night?
So. I think we handle it tonight.
Okay. How much time do you need to give us the new number?
It's already done.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah,
But any,
The new number would be $6,067,000.
all right, somebody writing that down?
I got it.
Excellent.
Already added that.
Well, I'm not done yet, so hold it there.
No, that's all right. Well, you can keep going.
I wrote it in pencil, so.
Yeah, okay.
So go ahead.
On the operational side, I did ask for a new police position, having our authorized strength go from 42 to 43. If you also remember last year, Councilwoman Buchanan wasn't on the council last year. I gave a presentation regarding, a long-term plan to get us up to staffing levels where I think we should have probably been 20 years ago. And was very pleased that 2 officers were added. I was able to get very good officers that are now working in the field, and they're doing a great job. One of them was a certified officer from Yukon, who's now works for us, doing a great job. And so, again, my plan, at least for my tenure here, and I plan on staying a little bit longer, is to get us up to a 45 officer strength. Putting, of course, most of those eggs in the patrol basket. At the same time that I'm asking for extra people, I did value engineer. So again, I did get rid of positions that were in the police department that I thought could be better served going to the patrol side. So we used to have a traffic officer, got rid of that position. Used to have a support services sergeant, I got rid of that position. We used to have 7 detectives, and now we're down to 4. And so I keep an eye on them to make sure that they can still do the job they need to do, given less manpower. But again, I'm going to have to put somebody back in the detective division within a year or 2. We have probably some retirements coming up in 2 to 3 years because the senior guys are detectives and they might be leaving. So I have to look at succession planning for that. And so I'm also trying to get to a a point in the department where we can go from a 3-person minimum, a 3-officer on the road minimum, to a 4-officer on the road minimum. That would probably be the most consequential change in the police department since it was founded. They've worked with 3 patrolmen out in the field since the 1970s, and it's a lot busier than it was in 1970. If you remember last year, I gave you the numbers for the crime rates in Connecticut. Plainville fell at number 9. This year, the next year, which is 2024, crime stats, and this is according to the NIBRS reporting. NIBRS is the National Incident-Based Reporting System. Every time there's a crime, we have to designate what type of crime that is. Those statistics are double and triple checked by our records division and then sent off to the state of Connecticut, where they then publish the statistics, and then of course it goes off to the national as well. We ranked 18th for the crime rate per 1,000 people at 39.6. Just below us was Bridgeport, Meriden, Stamford, Norwalk, and Middletown. Now, I can't verify the veracity of this data. I'm not sure if those departments have as good of a records manager than I have. However, those are the statistics. I think the important thing to note is that of the top 18, and when I say top, the 18 towns that have the highest NIBRS crime rates, the average amount of police officers per those towns is 119. And we're at 40. There are some departments that have less. Willimantic has 39. Groton City has 29. Derby has 33. Those are towns that have less police officers but have a higher crime rate than us. Again, speaking to how busy the town is, there's a lot of crime going on. There's a lot of things happening. We pretty much keep it under wraps if we can. We do our job silently. We don't want the public to really, have to worry. We keep a very safe and secure town, and it's a great town. But it really needs to have 4 officers on the road. This gives the officers the ability to do a lot more proactive police work. They can do more of that traffic work that needs to be done. The town manager can speak to the citizens that come in and want that traffic enforcement done on their streets. It also allows them to just be, out there more often, taking on, less casework that puts them in a chair for an 8-hour shift when they should be out there patrolling. And it gives them, of course, the safety of having a backup. When an officer makes an arrest, usually that's a 2-officer process where he needs backup for the field out in the street, and he needs the backup back at the police department because on the evening and midnight shift, there's really nobody else there other than a sergeant and 3 officers. So that's my plan, and with that extra person, I can make that leap. It's not going to be without growing pains in the police department because sometimes you have to put the cart before the horse, take a few steps forward, to take a few steps back. But that's my ultimate goal, is to get to that 45 officers. And it's needed. So thank you so much.
All right. And just, outside of this process, I don't know if it makes sense to have you come back at some point and kind of give us an update on where you are or we are as a town with that plan that you put together. Because it was, certainly it was beneficial for us to hear it. I don't know if and I don't know when we can do that, but, I think that's important that we probably touch base on that plan again, especially like you said, we do have a new member of the council. And see where we are and, see how we can go forward, outside of this budget process. But certainly, I think, I don't know if anyone else, I don't want to talk for anyone else, but, certainly, I would like to consider adding another patrol officer. I don't think I would be ready tonight to vote on anything, but certainly, we do have 4 more nights of this scheduled. I would like to return to this operating budget if you guys are okay with that.
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I would just encourage, if there's any questions, I'm sure the chief or even the town manager would be happy to answer any questions if we had them. I don't mean to cut you off. If you have more, please share what you want to talk about next. I don't want to.
Just make it good news.
Yeah.
Good news, yeah. all good news.
Yeah.
The other item that I had requested, and it sort of went hand in hand with the extra officer, but not a necessity, was that I wanted to make a promotion within the police department and create a position of patrol lieutenant. So one of the other items that I've tasked myself with when I became the police chief here was to organize the police department in a way that I saw best met the needs of the department, and of course followed along the lines of law enforcement theory in general. And if you remember, we did not have a captain's position. We had nobody who was a second in command. So I was able to, with your help and with the town management's help, to have a person promoted to the rank of captain. And that would be somebody who was considered really a deputy chief, their second in command, and they are outside of the union. So it's myself and that other person who are two people that are not union members, which was important to me. The police department has three main divisions. You have your patrol division, which is the largest division, and those are the patrol officers and sergeants that are out in the field, as well as the school resource officers. You have your administrative division, and then you have your detective division, or your investigative division. Most police departments have, if they have the personnel, will even have a captain that's in charge of those divisions. I wanted at least somebody of the rank of lieutenant to be in charge of those divisions. So I have a lieutenant in charge of the detective division. That was also a change that was made possible by this council. And I have a lieutenant that also is in the administration division. I do not have anybody in charge of the patrol division other than my second in command, who is busy doing many other things. So for him to then take under his belt having to supervise and manage and take care of the largest division in the police department is a little difficult. And so I envisioned having a lieutenant in charge of each one of those divisions, which makes logical sense to me.
Yep.
And so that's what I wanted to do. The difference in pay, I think we worked out to around $21,000 for the first year, and then it goes up as the sergeant reaches the second step. It's a tiered process of maybe another $4,000. I would not ask to have that patrol position replaced. Again, that's taking a step forward, doing something important, and then, of course, paying for it on the back end by not having that person on patrol. Because a patrol officer has to go to sergeant, and then that sergeant that's there goes to lieutenant. So now I have that hole in patrol. So, again, I'm trying to, put things into place that I feel are important for the ongoing future of the department, and at the same time trying to fill those holes.
So your new patrol officer this year that you're asking for is going to fill the hole that's created by
pretty much.
by the
That's
lieutenant.
probably the way it would work out. And again, there are other places. I know we had talked about the Board of Ed and the school resource officers. I have two officers that are attached to the school full time for the entire school year, and they do an important role. I'm very supportive of the school resource officer positions. I do know that the security department there, the security director, has done a lot of work there to hire a great staff that at least assist those officers with, the main safety issues that are there, if there are any at the school, and to respond if there's emergencies. But again, I think when Chief Catania, and I had done some research, was looking to fill positions with SROs for the very first time, it was told to me that they were supposed to be paid for by the Board of Ed. The Board of Ed did not want to do that, but it was important enough for the chief, especially given, Sandy Hook in 2012 is when he started to try to have this happen. It was important for him to fill those positions, and so he did with two officers. And so I may have to have a tough discussion with the superintendent about, me getting one of those people back, or them having to at least pay a certain percentage so that money could then come back to me, so that I could hire somebody to fill that position. So again, I wanted to, not make that as a threat, but, to put that out there now, because now is the time to start thinking that way. Because if I wait until, say, August before the start of the school year and then spring that on somebody, that's not going to be a good way to go. So I wanted to throw that out as at least a possibility to be able to help fund one of my new positions.
All right, any questions, any comments?
Okay, Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Just a question for the town manager, I believe. Is the additional police officer included in the full-time salary police in your proposed budget?
Not the officer, just the promotion.
Okay. But not the officer?
No.
Okay.
All right, any other questions, comments?
Just to follow up on that. So adding the officer is 140,000? Approximately, was that the number? I'm trying to remember.
75,320. Estimated because the contract expires June 30th of this year.
Plus the benefits?
Well, benefits aren't in this budget per se.
Okay.
It's just the salary that's in, would be.
So it'd be another $75,000 increase?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, any other comments or questions? So I guess just to summarize, the promotion that's in the budget the proposed budget. Another patrol officer that we would need to add, and that was the 75,000 or 320 that you just mentioned. We're also considering the capital items that we believe should be in the operating. That was a $70,000.
Well, again, those are not budgeted in capital right now. So
Right.
It would just
but
be.
our operating, we would have to add
You'd have to add
70,000 to our
Well,
operating.
50 because we have residual.
Or 50, I'm sorry, yes, because you had the 20 from
Yep.
CIP.
Yep.
Okay. So those would be added in whatever budget line they would.
Correct.
Are appropriate for.
Yes.
All right. Am I missing anything?
I think so.
All right.
I'm a little reticent to add those to the operating budget. They've always been capital.
Yeah.
Especially if it's going to affect any of my other requests. And, obviously, if I'm asking for an extra officer that's 75,000, adding another 50, depending on what it looks like on paper and how it's sort of sold to the public
Yeah,
for
yeah.
their vote is important. So
Okay.
I would like that to be taken into consideration.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any other comments, thoughts, questions? So I think we'll take your operating and capital up, probably Thursday night if everyone's comfortable with that. I mean, like I said, we do have 4 more of these work sessions scheduled. But thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in and explaining all that to us. And like I said, Thursday night, we'll be talking about your department again. You're welcome to be here.
What time does that start?
We do start at 6:30. We do have the Board of Ed and the capital budget, but I would imagine we're going to start with the Board of Ed at 6:30, and then after we're done with the Board of Ed, we would probably take this up along with the capital.
Probably 7-ish.
So 7-ish, I would say.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you.
You too. We do still have animal control and emergency medical services. I don't know if you have anything you need to share. Animal control is section, actually, it's the next page from the police department.
That was pretty straightforward. There was
Yes.
really no changes. I think the budget actually reduced for the upcoming fiscal year. So I think we're good with that.
I do have a quick question. I was notified that the state has put new guidelines for 2029 regarding dog pounds. Do we still call them dog pounds?
Yes.
We do. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we changed that or not. But
Yeah.
if you don't know specific answer, that's fine. But where are we in relation to those new
I think
regulations?
Yeah,
I guess I don't.
Donna, so I think the main regulation we were concerned with is that you had to have a certain type of non-chain link fence that went up to at least, I think, 3 or 4 feet tall, and then on a certain type of a run. And I think, she said they're well in place to get that stuff done.
Okay.
So I don't think there's going to be any major capital expenditures or requests to actually build on to the facility or anything of that nature. I think it's just going to be a very simple change. Again, don't
Right, right.
do
no,
that,
and
but I
that-
know it had to do with.
And if you
something
find out
Donna-
information after tonight that you think, feel free to
Yeah,
send it on.
Yeah, I remember us discussing that, and she had set me at ease and with the explanation she
Okay.
had given me. I just don't remember all the details, but I knew it had to do with making sure that the dogs can't bite through a chain link fence. It has to be a certain height,
Okay,
probably sheet metal or something to that effect.
okay.
So
All right.
we can make that happen.
All right, anyone else with a question, comment?
Nope.
No, Mr. Chair,
Yes,
motion to fund Department 205 in the amount of $104,300.
Second.
all right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. I think we just turn turn the page to the Emergency Medical Services, Department 206. I believe this is, we pay per capita.
I thought this got,
Oh, it got zeroed out 2 years ago, that's
Yeah.
right. So we don't have to, so after this year, we won't have this page anymore.
It's really zero. It was zero this year and it'll be zero next year. The only reason it's in the book is because there's an actual cost for 25.
Yep, and that will fall off.
That'll
when
fall
we're here
off,
next
it'll
year.
go.
Okay, all right, well, thank you.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chair,
Oh,
before the
oh.
chief leaves.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, just, trying to think about what we are going to be considering on Thursday night. Would that include consideration of the police vehicle too? Which it doesn't, it's not
Yeah, no,
currently
I
appear
did
in the
not-
manager's proposed budget.
Yeah, I did not write that down or confirm
I
that
didn't
was
know.
another follow-up. So I would add that to the list of what I identified earlier is a patrol vehicle. So yes,
Think about it all.
all right, thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chief. Have a good night.
All right, let's see, the last item on our agenda for tonight is revenues. That's way back in section 3, page 5. There we go. So it's this, I imagine we're gonna look to the finance director, any changes from what's on the page here?
Yeah, and it's really, we're bumping up building permits a little bit based on, again, construction value, as technical services director mentioned, I think last night, building permits are still up, we're busy, so it makes sense to kind of bump that up a little bit. Again, I don't want to bump it up too high to go over, so, being conservative, we're bumping it up 75,000. Prior to that, sorry, I missed motor vehicle supplement again. It's, the structure's different with regards to motor vehicles, but at the same time, any new vehicles are costing more money too, so the same, it's gonna be a higher price hopefully from a revenue standpoint. The police fees, this is where the chief was discussing the fact of the increase in the auto fee to the private contracts for special duty. I am bumping it up 90,000. Again, if you with the council were to redirect some of that money, the line item dollar amount, not necessarily the increase, but the dollar amount to another fund, then we would just lower this line item to where you would, whatever dollar amount you don't want to show it at, here, and show it to another fund. But again, with our construction projects we have going on in town, and they are going to continue in the near future with, I'm blanking out right now, somewhere over there by Camp Street, Bradley Street. I think we have another lot set project coming on board, Whiting Street. It's pretty much wrapped up right now, but we have a lot of construction duties that require police officers. So this line item alone, even if it wasn't for the increase in fees, would probably increase. So it's prudent to bump up the dollar amount for that right now. Again, if you elect to take some of that and put it somewhere else, that's up to you. Everything else is, well, we have a new line item that really just came into being at the end of 25 for the EV charging stations we have around town, and we are generating some revenue. So we're budgeting $6,000, which not a lot in the whole scheme of things, but it is more $6,000 more than we budgeted before. Interest income, again, rates are pretty good still. So we're looking at an increase for that for 27. Obviously, the big area is intergovernmental revenue, and the big number that it will jump out at you there is ECS. It's flat and in fact decreasing. It's decreasing for the way we're paying for some of our services that we, our CREC invoices and things like that. But we capped out this year on the state catching up that level. We capped out. So our budget is essentially flat. Where there is an increase is in the motor vehicles. Now, that's going to fluctuate. So if our mill rate is above 32.46, which is the cap at the state level, we get pilot monies back the following year. If our mill rate goes down below 32.46, this would completely go away.
Okay.
So we're getting an increase in 27, okay, because we theoretically, couldn't charge enough on the motor vehicles, so they're recouping a percentage, a very small percentage, but a percentage. So it looks like it's good revenue, but really it's an increase, but it's not an increase because ECS stayed flat. Everything else is pretty level with regards to conveyance tax. Again, sales are happening for higher values, so, a slight bump in that revenue line item is appropriate. Where we do have two new revenue line items this year are the transfer in that we mentioned from debt management last night. This is that $172,000 that's above and beyond the $4.4 million expenditure in the debt. And then the one-time, we're assuming one-time, transfer in from the landfill closure fund where we have revenue sitting. We're still trying to figure out if there's going to be revenue generated from this going forward, if we're going to have ongoing expenditures going forward. But the fund is sufficient at this point in time to at least give some mill rate relief to the general fund to the tune of $250,000 next year. We'll revisit it again in 28, see where we are. Hopefully we'll have more information on the landfill closure at that point in time, and we can then determine whether, we can keep this line item and still substantiate the dollars coming from the landfill trust fund, or change it, lower it, eliminate it. We'll have to play that by ear, but at least for 27, we're confident that it's a good number to help relieve the mill rate. Currently, we have left the use of fund balance at the same $1.4 million we've had for the last, I believe, 4 years now. Administratively, we would like to see that be reduced.
Yeah.
I think when we go out to market, you're going to see the rating agencies point that out.
Yeah.
So when the report comes, if it is pointed out, I'll bring it back to you. But this is we've essentially not raised taxes for 4 years, over 4 years, to the tune of $5.6 million. So it's low. It kept the mill rate lower, yes, but we're at a point where our fund balance is also getting to a percentage that may be below our threshold. If we had that money sitting in fund balance, we wouldn't be in that position.
Yep.
So that's what the rating agencies are going to point out,
Okay.
in my opinion. But we'll see how that goes. And that's really all the revenues at this point. Again, trying to be conservative as we always have to a degree. And these can change throughout the process up until you set a mill rate. So we'll
Yep.
continue to look at these as we go along. And if we need to revise any of these numbers, we certainly will.
All right. And I know it's a short session at the state level, but is there any indication that they're talking about any revenues potentially changing, or is that pretty much off the table now?
From a revenue standpoint to the towns, no, they want to put more mandates on us, which will
Yes.
cost us more. So there's a lot of those that are out there that are still, trying to be talked about and,
Yep.
I believe there's a bill to bump up ECS.
yeah, I mean, again, I'm not confident.
Okay.
Only because, we got there's talk about special education. I know that that's going to bump up, but that's not a non-budgeted
Yeah.
number. They're looking, the town aid roads and things like that, they bumped it up, but again, it's not budgeted in our general budget. So they're putting monies where they should be looking, like we talked about in the grand list, exemptions. They mandated veterans exemption, they mandated manufacturing exemptions, but they're not paying for any of it. They mandated and capped the motor vehicle tax, but they're not paying for it to the level they should be paying for it. So that's all lost revenue to us.
And what was that number with these mandates? Off the top of your head, do you have?
The veterans alone was $4.4 million. Now, again, you want to do everything you can for veterans. It's a worthy cause. But if it's going to be a mandate, at least give us something.
Well, and
in
there is an
line.
impact. There's
Yeah, there is an
significant
impact. Yeah,
impact.
I think, again, the impact is a lot larger than the legislature thought. So in their defense, but I don't think, they're not looking at to change it though. At least I haven't heard anything anyway. The manufacturing consumptions, that went away 10, 15 years ago. I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That's bigger than the 4.4 million.
Okay. All right, anyone, any questions or comments regarding revenues? I know if you get any new information, we can always revisit this up
Yeah,
until
like I
we set
said,
the mill rate.
the revenues can be adjusted up until you set the mill rate. So we'll stay on top of things. If anything does change at the state level, you'll be the first to know. Yeah.
All right, anything else? I know that completes what's on the agenda. Is there anything else we need to know tonight? We're good? All right, so we are back on Thursday evening. Again, I had mentioned we're here at 6:30. We will be discussing or talking to the Board of Education. I would suggest if you do have questions or comments for the Board of Ed, if you want to forward them to the superintendent. Sometimes it's nice to get some of the answers ahead of time. Otherwise, we will talk about the capital budget and as part of our process, following up with the police department budget as well.
Excuse me, everyone, if everyone is about to conclude.
Yeah.
I thought we were on the agenda for 21 Place.
It's in 302.
Oh, you're, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, yes.
That's too bad. Planning and zoning.
I thought she looked familiar.
Well, thank you for saying something.
I thought she looked familiar from the last.
Okay. All right, if no one else has any comments or questions, a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we will be back Thursday evening at 6:30. Thank you, everyone.